Hello, hi, assalamu alaikum. I Bowan and welcome all of you guys for an last of chapter series. And today we are planning to go through with the chapter on IoT, Internet of Things, which is also termed as Arduino or else microcontrollers. Today we will be learning about the electronic components in there. Okay, and how to generate these circuits, how to go through in these circuits in it. කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලා තමයි in detail you will be learning in terms. This session is going to be not going to be a very big lesson, okay, about teaching you all how these circuits are going to be, but this is actually a practical session in terms of how electronic works. Now, in talking about the practical sessions, it is all about use of all electronic circuits like this. When the electronic circuit tech hadala, you have to pre-code it in there and start to work. Moreover, in our physical classes, we did practicals. Okay, api practicals me lamaita rangila dila. Okay, making them to bring a laptop and then trying different kinds of circuits in there. Guradroda kare. So in our syllabus, if you come across, okay, in our syllabus guideline, we had to do 4 different types of practicals in terms. Okay, so eka puddak mama golanta taggala pennanna. So if you take it on in terms of Arduino and circuits gatat, for you have to develop or else design in 3 different types of circuits. So right. Okay, number one, switching and switching off an LED, connecting with an LDR sensor, LED ka sensing a room temperature, and opening and closing detection with magnetic switch. So you have to deal with a switch, you have to deal with a temperature sensor, you have to deal with an LDR sensor, and turning on and off with an LED bulb killer circuits. Hatarak, we have mainly to deal with it. But these circuit hatarak Wodak circuits, which we can also check it out. So last year, if you take it on in 2023 paper, there was a question around 6 to 7 marks under IoT. Before that, also there were questions in it. Hopefully, in this year also, there might be questions we can expect. Okay, that you all are supposed to answer these IoT. And there are 2 options to go through. We can do it in practical concepts. Okay, practice karla we can do these questions. Number one or number two, you can do it in terms of stimulation. Stimulation is where you use a software, and using a software you connect all the codes and everything. So completely practical karne ke online okay, so that's what we will be going through in there. So let's go towards our and then start off with this section called as IoT. So we are in page number. Okay, today we have to begin off with page number future trends of ICT. Okay, future trends of ICT, if you come across, we will be using Internet of Things, IoT devices to capture data. Now, normally one of the most important aspect of a computer is dealing with data. So we have to capture data from users. So capturing data from a non-electronic device. Now, if you have a mouse, you can capture data easily. If it's a keyboard, if it's a magnetic reader, so you can capture data using electronic devices. But how to capture data from non-electronic objects? So the ways and means that we can capture data becomes an IoT. IoT is an electronic device which can be stimulated to capture data from different means and ways. So in here you build up using sensors, microcontrollers, and yet more. So that's how the entire IoT is all about. Make a benefit take कोई दस तीन IoT devices अभी कोई दे use करने के लगा तो smart watches, smart TV. Now, if you go to a website called as okay, अभी if you go to a website for dialogue smart home के लगा तो okay, you can also buy little different kinds of okay electronic devices करना पड़ेगा. Okay, now these smartphone homes are made using IoT you have a smart plug is there, Indo IP camera, smart code I think it's where you can control the code using mobile phone. We have a switch is there, smart Wi-Fi socket. So normally what happens is you can plug in your TV there and then you can use your mobile phone connected through Wi-Fi. You can turn on and off a switch checker using your mobile phone. So we have a smart bulb socket is there, fan controller is available. We do have Teddy IR blaster, I think, to control multiple devices. Smart plug it, you can switch on and off using schedule time. It's 10,000 rupees. The makeup kapit hadan pulo rupiah dedas pansi the deda hata wage hadan pulo. Really? Too expensive. Eh? We can develop this using 5 6,000 5 600 700 senjide. Okay, by coding put that done on dala host kara karaganda plan. This is home Wi-Fi mesh 2 units. 25,000. Oh, really? Oh my, but expensive home mesh. Why do we use this home mesh? The whole Wi-Fi built eliminate dead zones and provide uninterrupted Wi-Fi throughout your home. So mostly I think it's an extended Wi-Fi support. You can repeat track ganda pulang rupiah dah highway. You don't need to buy this mesh. Repeater dah ko ganda pulang rupiah dah hata ragina. Okay, repeater hammer room mat you will get Wi-Fi access in there. So make a guda kaparadi Wi-Fi mesh. So this is too expensive. Eh? So 5.1 24 megabits per second. The second one SSD support in there. Two internal camera mesh button. Gigabit Ethernet no, but too expensive. Okay, so under these things. So may wage thamai these electronic devices. IoT is coming in vehicles. It can be in sensors. If you come across in these homes, will mobile phones, will even your smart Apple tag. Okay, it can be considered as an IoT device. Apple tags which they use to sell it, okay, which can be considered as what? An IoT device. An IoT device can be used to capture data from an non-electronic object. So moreover, you can use to capture data. May data you can perform different, you can capture and control data, and you can capture data and control different components. So this IoT device, there are a lot of circuits available which you can take it in the market. So the benefit of IoT is automation. So basically automation IoT device use currently. Okay, simple. Any questions regards to IoT? Where do we have used it? Api explain kara. So mangonang IoT device ke in short Internet of Things. Okay, these are in short mama summary wise ka keyword. Okay, circuits built to capture and control capture and control devices. Capture data. This circuit built to capture data and control devices. Okay, this is what Internet of Things is all about. So if you take it on this Internet of Things, you can use different microcontrollers to you can use microcontrollers to operate and configure. Okay, you can use microcontrollers to operate and configure. Next one, if you come across IoT devices as well, these are microcontrollers like a microcontrollers. Okay, these microcontrollers like example है मैं Arduino के लिए किया है. So we use to capture data, we use sensors. Okay, we use to capture data using sensors. We use to capture data, and you can also get output using buzzer and everything. Okay, you can define output using buzzer, LED. Okay, use करना पड़ेगा. Done. Any questions you all have before we start off this introduction? Okay, nice. Mm, 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 mm. So, PDF I'll tell you. So these are the equipments you can use to capture and control data in the COE website page. So you can use these devices. Maybe these devices can be used to capture and operate and configure devices. And if you take it on these devices, you can use to capture data using sensors, and you can control it using repetitors. So we call it as actuators and sensors. We call it as actuators and sensors. So that comes to this. Good. So we used sensors to capture data and actuators to respond to data. So inputs mostly we use it as sensors, and actuators are normally outputs. Normally it can be considered as inputs and outputs. Nice. So that's an overview of these IoT devices. These are sensor devices. Connectivity has a user interface, data processing, and it can also do data storage too. IoT devices are available. May put examples. They are engagement sensors, small in devices which can use to capture data. You can find these in wearable hospitals, connected appliances, smart home wala dakinda puluang, highways wala dakinda puluang, smart cities wala dakinda puluang, restaurants wala dakinda puluang. Lot of places you can see these things. Megulang advantage and disadvantages also available in terms of it. Now you use this IoT devices, this IoT concept, use all this embedding of these sensors and actuators. You can input in a microprocessor or a microcontroller. So microprocessor and a microcontroller ke difference hai. Your computer has a microprocessor, which is the CPU. A microcontroller is a small version of a computer. So this is normally a PC kagata. This is a mini PC kakkile. This mini PC can be configured to do a specific task. So microprocessor again, we have different types of microprocessors are there. Complex instruction set architecture, reduced instruction set architecture, application specific architecture here we have it. Now the CPUs that we are using is complex instruction set architecture. Our Intel, AMD, M1, all these are what complex kind of instruction set architectures. Reduce these are smaller devices. Application specific keys like PlayStation 4, Xbox use. So these are what microprocessors, which are CPUs. Core i3, Core i5, Core i7. This is not the whole computer. That's the brain of the computer. We call it as microprocessors. These are fast in size, and faster in flexible, compact size, maintainability, expensive. So normally these are under the computers we come across. That's microprocessors. Microcontrollers, on other hand, are like mini type. This is a microcontroller. You can use this to config. This is simply a microcontroller. This doesn't have, this has the CPU, RAM, everything inside here. Make it be microcontroller. Make chip be microcontroller. This has the CPU, RAM, ROM, BIOS, everything needed in here. Now, if you take a normal computer, computer, these are microprocessor. That's the CPU. That CPU has ALU, CU, and memory. So that's it. It doesn't have the RAM and everything in there. But microcontroller has everything in detail. The difference between a microprocessor and a microcontroller. This is a CPU. This is a mini embedded CPU. That's the difference in there. So if you take it on the differences, if you come across, we have microcontrollers in different bits range, memory range is there, instruction set range, architectures willing, family willing, you can also see it in there. So these are different types and layouts of microcontrollers. For a reference purpose, I have given this. We can use it for a normal reference purpose. So this microcontroller, microprocessor, again, microprocessor can CPU. This is a mini embedded computer. It's an embedded computer. Okay, if you take it on, these are like performing heavy in tasks like laptop, mobile phone, video games. These are specific, used for a fixed task, fixed predefined value like washing machine, alarm, okay, a radio. Okay, we do have a Game Boy. If you take a power bank, now power bank you get, if you take it on in here, when you press this button, it shows 100%. So it has a simple microcontroller inside here, okay, which used to capture your data, and when you press this button, it will show you what is the display up, one of the battery percentage it will have it. It has a sensor, okay, it has a sensor which used to capture the center, and there is a small display unit is there. This is an example of a microcontroller. මෙතන CPU එකක් නැහැ. මේකේ පොඩි task එකයි දාන්නේ. It has only the CPU chip, otherwise IO port are connected externally. It has CPU, IO port, everything are connected to a single chip. 32-bit, 64-bit, 864, 24-bit. This is expensive, this is cheaper, less power high power consumption, less power consumption. Intel Core, AMD, Pentium series, okay, M1, M2, M series. මෙහා පැත්තේ කියනවා ඒ Arduinos ඔක්කොම ඇවිල්ලා මෙන්න මෙතන තමයි එන්නේ. So basically, a microprocessor is a computer which we use it in our day-to-day life. A microcontroller is a mini embedded computer which can be used to perform a specific task. So this is an example of an IoT device, which will show you this power bank has an IoT device, which will show you the battery percentage. Any questions before we move on to IoT? So overview of IoT, that is it all about. Okay, CPU के advanced version එක, computer के smaller version is known as a microcontroller. Okay, microcontroller can work on specific devices by connecting different sensors. So microcontrollers can be used to perform specific task. Okay, specific task, and this is almost cheaper in there. Understood? Clear? All good to go? Okay, so example questions, schematic diagram. These microcontroller doesn't need internet. You don't need internet connection, but these are connected together. You can also connect to internet. Okay, so these are also connected to internet and can be connected to internet. These are not fatal to humans. This supports moreover human task. It can be used for automation. So usually who uses microcontroller in our day-to-day life? We all have microcontrollers in our devices. Like wherever you see, there will be a microcontroller. So if you take it on in here, Apple Watch, this is an example of a microcontroller. Okay, this has the CPU, everything in built in there. This is an example of a microcontroller, but this is a heavy type microcontroller. Heavy type microcontroller. Now this is a microcontroller. You can take it on when the maker. Okay, this joystick is an example of a microcontroller where it has a circuit board, it has an OS, it has a memory, and when you press these buttons, these are connected. Your TV remote can be considered as a microcontroller. Body circuit board which you have configured and which will capture data from a non-living object. So now why do we use this controller? To capture inputs. So these are what? All buttons. Okay, you have a small sensor also here, and this is connected to the PlayStation, and there you can jump, stamina, walk, sleep, you can do it whatever you wanted. So basically in our day-to-day life, all mini electronic devices are microcontrollers which will automate your task. අපිටම දන්න නැතුව දන්නවා. Okay, අපිටම දන්න නැතුව day-to-day life use කරනවා. Okay, මේක තමයි alarm එකක්, online alarm එකක්, a microcontroller වෙන මොනවද? Okay, නයි කැටගරි සාමාන්‍ය කයි කැටගරි සාමාන්‍යලා නාටෙලු. Okay, microcontroller. In the remote on the microcontroller educated. Okay, in the remote is the buttons. Okay, we can take this wireless power bank can be also taken in there. Okay, as a microcontroller. So all electronic devices which can, a digital clock can be used as a microcontroller podi device which you can pre-code it and use it. We have a microcontroller known as an Arduino board. The main Arduino board decay, what are the things you have? You need to know a little bit of specification. Number one is this USB port, which you can configure this board. This is the USB port we do have. Okay. Right. Make it USB port. Take it again. You have to know this a little bit. This one. Make it USB port. Take it. This USB Arduino board you can configure, and we can also deal with a LED bulb. I'll show you. Okay, එතකොට මේ USB port you can also have a DC jack which you can give power. So USB port, DC jack, and here we have lot of pins. We call this one as these are digital pins, which will give you digital input and output. You can connect any kind of wire connect. You can give a digital input digital one and zeros. This is a digital input ekama a wire these are analog inputs. You can use to analog input and output. Sensors used to input data, actuators used to output. Sensors like LDR sensor. Okay, we have a rain sensor, humidity sensor. Okay, PIR sensor, passive infrared motion detector sensor, ultrasonic sensor. Okay, distance sensor. Okay, gas sensor, okay, accelerometer, good sensors, you can capture it. So those capture, you can capture it as an analog or digital. The difference between analog and digital, it's like this. If you press a button, it will say you have pressed the button or not. That's digital. But if you press the button, it will give you the sensitivity, how much you have pressed it. Okay, now for an example, if you take here, this button is digital and this one sensitivity. Type tight color draw it takes the sensitivity. Continuous reading analog. So that's we have it. Then we do have this one. This is our entire microcontroller chip. This was the question asked in 2023. What is this? This is the microcontroller chip. Then a lot of other devices are there. These are very different pins to connect or else extend your Arduino board. So make a mostly දැනගන්න ඕනි. හරි. මේක තියලා how can you code it and pre-code it in there? මෙයාව code කරන්න we need a software called as Arduino software එකක් ඕනේ. See, these are also available. Resistors use කරනවා current එක hold කරගන්න පුළුවන්. We have different type of sensors. LDR sensor, infrared sensor, ultrasonic, PIR motion sensor, passive infrared motion detector sensor. This is a distance sensor. Okay, distance sensor, temperature, magnetic sensor, humidity, RFID, okay, accelerometer, gyroscope, gas, fingerprint, flame, touch, noise sensor killer. Henna of sensors are there. So we use this Arduino board and we use these sensors to capture data in and give output as we wanted. So first thing is you need to have this Arduino board. So those who will have ordered the Arduino boards and kits, I will be sending you all within by next week. Okay. These Arduino boards, you all can use these wires and pin curler. You all can give inputs and outputs. The first and foremost thing is you all have to plug in this Arduino board and give power. So direct USB can be used to give power and also can be used to provide commands to this board. එතකොට මේ board එක ඇවිල්ලා empty තියෙන්නේ. මේක reset කරාම මෙයා fully empty වෙනවා මේ board එක. Okay, එතකොට අපිට pre code කරලා තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක on කරාම මේක වෙනවා. On වුණාම මේක වෙනවා. Now if you go to a mall, automatically the door opens. It's an Arduino. You tap on the card. Okay, tap කරලා card එක door එක open කරන්නේ. It's an IOT. So මේක තමයි we have it. So මේකට we have to use a software called as Arduino software. Okay, Arduino කියලා software we have to install that Arduino software install which software which allows you to, okay, so you can go to this software section and we can allow you to do the coding. So what I will be doing it in here is, okay, I will be also inserting this device. So light first. Okay, so I have already installed this software, so which I have it in here. So I have already installed. So this is the software we have it installed in it. So I'm going to go and have a new sketch, which is a new one. From here, I'm going to select the board which I have installed. So tools gila, I can select the board which I have installed. That's an Arduino Uno board dekadala. From the ports, I have the Bluetooth port. Okay, let's see. Arduino board detect he has to detect it. Okay. Okay, Habibi detect කරන්න මාව. Ducking there. I'll take another dock can come. Another thing there. Okay, done. So okay. එහෙම දෙන්නකො මම. Oh. Okay, exclusively we are going into Arduino. Hold on. In there, I'll put a quick setup in there. One check testing one. Okay, we are going a little bit in a different style. Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen. No? So I have this in here, stimulation with karanaplam, practical with karla. Hi guys. Okay, so I hope you guys can see me. Okay, hi ne, Penane volante. Right, so this is how the setup. So I have my USB dock and the Arduino board. Make a side right. So I have the wires and everything is there. Right. So what I have done it is I have used my USB dock and connected to this Arduino board, and you can see that these pins are been working. Monotona zoom in karla pennanda puluwan. Okay, this is working. Yeah, my nails. Yeah, I have done. That mama will be scolding. Right. So this is what we have done in terms. Hari. ඊට පස්සේ first thing is I have to now go through with the code board එකත් එක්ක Mama will connect into it. So this is the screen you see. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to get the Arduino. Nice. Okay. So, okay, this is our Arduino sketch again, right? So I'll do the practical here. You can also check it out in it. Number one, what I'll do it is I'll go to the board and try to connect to my Arduino board. The moment I connected here, you will see this Arduino is there. And then you can also get the board and select the Arduino Uno. The first and foremost is you will see this screen. So there is something for you to know the code. There are two main parts in this code. Number one is the setup section, which is basically it will give you the initial command, maybe the initial codes to be done, like assigning variables and everything. You can assign values and variables. This is what the initial setup. The loop is something which keeps on repeating again and again and again. Okay. The first and foremost thing which I'm going to do it is I'm going to get a breadboard, which is something like this. Okay. I'm going to get a breadboard and I'm going to have an LED bulb, which is something like this way. I'm having my LED bulb here. Okay. I hope you can see this. So my LED bulb, I have two LED bulbs. I'll take a red color and a blue color one. Okay. So I'm going to have an LED bulb. I'm going to, light up these two LED bulb using my Arduino board. So ඒක වටනත් කරන්න පුළුවන් නිකන් direct ගෙහුවොත් කරන්න පුළුවන් නේ සීලා. But the interesting fact in Arduino board is you can pre-code it. Program කරලා කරන්න පුළුවන්. Now I can't be keeping this in my hand and pinning like this no. So what I do it is I have a breadboard like this. Guys ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ලස්සනට පේනවද? බොද වගේ පේන්නේ නැහනේ. quality වැඩි කරලා තමයි තියෙන්නේ ultra HD high quality එක තමයි videos ටික stream වෙන්නේ. I hope it's visible no digital zoom එකක් දාලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay, this is fine now. Okay, clear no? No sir, clear. Hari, thank you. Okay, so what are we doing talking right now? Hari make ඊට පස්සේ මම questions කරුම. First I'll do the practical. ඔයගලන්ට ඕන මේ circuits ටික ඔයගලන්ට සල්ලි දීලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. You can get it from me or either you can get it from any electronic shop picking if you want to do the practicals in there. So number one is this breadboard. What I'll do it is I have this bread light. Okay? Everywhere you have to know the basic concept of electricity. Now electricity is something like this. It just flows from one place to another place. That's what basically electricity is all about. So you have to send the electrons from one side to another side. It's like a water. So basic example of electricity is like water. Okay, it's like a liquid. So may liquid in this liquid, I can put into a tube in there and I can slant it. So the liquid will go. Okay, so what will happen is if I can send this liquid in a circular motion, it will keep on rotating. එතකොට මේ liquid එකේ I can transfer data. That's what basically electricity is all about. To control the out and inflow, we have kept this one. A tap එකක් වගේ තියලා තියෙනවා. මේකට කියනවා අපි resistant කියලා. Okay, resistors කියලා කියනවා. We need resistors to control the electricity in and out. Resistors are like this. මේකට තමයි resistors කියලා කියන්නේ. Okay, we have different ohms and everything. අපිට ඒක එච්චරට in detail ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. They have their own color band. Okay. Okay. You have this one. So they have their own color bands and everything in there. Resistors. People who are especially science students make under resistors. Okay. Zoom out. Is it zoom out? Hold on. Framing. Zoom autofocus. Right. Is autofocus. Okay. Done. So let's go for the next part. So what I'm going to do it is I'm going to pin this LED, okay, in this LED, and what I'm going to do it is I'm going to pin the LED and power up the circuit. Before going on, let's go through a schematic diagram. Okay, let's go for a diagram on how this LED is going to be pinned. That's what we're going to have it in there. So number one, we're going to have, okay, light up or else light LED using Arduino board. Nice. Okay. Anyone who Arduino board team. Good. Etakota, let's go through one by one and let's see how things are going to be. First thing is I have my Arduino board. So let me take my Arduino board here. Okay. This Arduino board, and this is my breadboard. Okay. In here, I'm going to place the LED. LED has two ends. Normally, if you take an LED, it's like it has two ends in there. Baland. If I keep it like this, these two LED these legs, if you come across, they are not always equal. There is a slice different. The longer one, we call it as the anode. Okay. The shorter one, we call it as the cathode. So anode the positive and the cathode. You can draw an LED in this way also. Okay. We can draw an LED in this way too. Okay. This is how we show an LED. In terms of diagrams now, you can show an LED in this way, where this is the positive side of an LED, this is the negative side. So we're going to have an LED in there. But this LED, it can deal up to 1 to 2.5 watts. But this breadboard goes beyond 5 watts. So if I give you all more current, what will happen is this will get damaged. But will get damaged. So we had to reduce the current by using a tap like this. What will happen? The water in and out flow is completely, okay, block using this tap. That's a resistor. Say I'm using this resistor. Go. I'm using this resistor. So what I'll do it in here is I will get the power from the board and give it to positive. And the negative I'll send through a resistor and give it to the ground. What do you mean by this? The current should always goes from positive to negative. Negative ground, positive the power. So plus to minus and on. So why I'm sending through a resistor is to reduce the power. Okay. Resistor reduce. So the same thing we are going to do it in this side. Okay, hope you all understood what I'm going to do. So this positive power, I can give it from a digital signal or an analog signal. I would prefer to use a digital signal. Digital kit, what are we going to do? We are going to light up an LED using this Arduino circuit. Okay, it's going to be in a pattern form. So digital signal from the digital pins, so analog pins analog pins, digital pins. Okay, so digital pin making mama LED current from the negative side, I'll reduce the current power. Okay, and send it to the ground. Whatever I have been explaining you, I'll show you in this scenario. Good. So let me zoom in a little bit. Framing okay, zoom in karla pendannang. Okay, good. Nice. White the quality quality. This is high quality, no? Make a quality better. And this is also no okay. Make quality make. Yeah. Okay. So what are you going to do here? Let's assume the same thing we're going to do it. I'll be taking the LED. Let me LED. Okay. I have to see the positive and the negative side to see that. See, this is one is the long end. So what I'll do is I'll take the long end like this. So I'll place this long end to this side. So I have the positive side and then I have the negative side. Okay. This way it will be visible. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a wire like this. We call these as jumper wires. These are basically the jumper wires. So I'll use this jumper wire from here, okay, to the board. So board decay, there are multiple pins are there. Okay, to show it to you all, but on the board decay, there are a lot of pins are there. AK, these pins are known as digital pins. These are known as analog pins. So I'm going to pin it to digital any pin එකක්. I can pin to 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 or 7. So pin number 7 එකට ගැහුවා. So what happened here? I started sending the current. Okay. Are you? Okay. හරිද? Done understood? Done understood? Okay. So that is what we have to. From here, I have to now reduce the current එක අඩු කරන්න ඕනේ. So what I'll do it is I'll take it from this to this. If I show you an overview, it's like this. See here, what has happened? The Arduino board, which I have pinned to pin number 7. Okay, pin number 7. From the pin number 7, the current goes all the way up to, okay, put a pin out to this way. See, it goes to the LED. LED power curve. So can I also do this? Yeah, I'll show you. I'll do the same thing in stimulation and also show it to you. It was a method, negative. The current is still have to go to the board. So board current. So what I'll do is I'll take another wire from this side, which is the cover goes towards this entire line. From this side, I'm going and giving it to the ground. Ground the negative side. Okay, so in the board, the red color is the positive line which comes to the LED. The board decay, red color is the positive line which comes to the LED. From the LED, current adu karala, and I'm sending it to the entire ground. Anybody who didn't understand this setup? Sir, mara say setup එක පොඩ්ඩක් explain කරනවාද ආය? Sir, is the positive side of the bulb digital connected to the one hole? Yes. So the plus side of a bulb and the digital connector one hole. Yes. Okay, how the breadboards will be, how breadboards are layout ke lagata. This is how the layout of a breadboard would be. So breadboard ke layouts is like this. I'll show you a layout of a breadboard also. Breadboard ke layout එක මෙහෙම තියෙන්නේ. Like the pins, if you take it on in there, it's like this. This is it's a good image, okay? Where the start and the end, මේ ඔක්කොම එක line එකක්. The current comes entirely to this line. So if I give a pin here, the current will go to the entire line. But make it goes horizontal, like vertical තමයි lines ටික. Vertically only they are connected. Okay, all these lights are connected vertically. Give me minutes. Okay, so done. Vertically connected. Okay, so A hinda tamai megara breadboard එක layout එක, how the current is goes on. So if I show you in this way, board okay, if I take the board in this way, if you give the current will flow this entire line. If you give a current here, it will go to the entire line. Same thing happens with this. That's why they have given two a straight line, red and line. Normally, if you make a positive, make a negative. But if you give a current here, it will come only to this line. May line okay. If you give a current here, may line may line. That's how these okay, these currents are. May line basic concept. Okay, nice. Now we have already done this. Okay, now we have to pre-code it. So I connect. Okay, current so let me go towards our Arduino screen. I'll connected, done. So first thing is I have to now I have comments here. First thing is I have to assign, or else I have to tell the board, hey, there is a pin. Okay. Introduce, or else introduce LED pin. So I have to introduce the LED pin. So I'm going to say this command, pin mode. Hey, I'm going to use a pin. These are case sensitives. M should be capital, P should be simple. I'm going to use a pin. It takes two parameters. Okay. One, I have to say the pin number. I have used the pin number 7. Now there are pins from 0 to 13. A0 A5 වෙනකන් තියෙනවා. So I'm using pin number 7, and that is for output purpose. You can also say for input, you can also say for output. So I'm using the pin number 7 for output purpose. Sounds good. This is the introduce the pin. In void loop, what I have to say it is, I have to now send a signal through this pin. I can now, these are digital pins. So there are two commands. So for digital input, digital, now if you wanted to say input now, we have a command called digital write. If you want to get output now, digital read. Same thing with analog also, analog write, analog read. Now in here, I'm going to send the input. Sorry, I have to send the output of an example. Okay, digital write and this is digital write and digital read. Yeah, digital write is the output. I'm going to send, hey, from this pin, I'm going to send an output to this wire. So I'm going to say like this way, digital write. I'm going to say that, hey, may pin king, I'm going to issue a signal. Okay. For the 7th pin, I'm going to say high. 7th pin, I'm going to say high. High in the sense current on. Okay. High in the sense you have sent electricity. High in the sense send electricity. High and low tamai tiyene mostly input and output. Okay. Make input output high and low. High input and output tamai tiyene input output. Metana high and low tamai godadurute. High and low. High and low. Okay. Nice. Let's compile it to see errors. Okay. Luckily, there is no errors. And then verify and let's upload it. So when I upload in there, Barakata output original. Why? Digital.write pin number 7 output. Okay. 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 Bulb पे more available. Okay. See, what I have done it is, okay, sir. What I have done is my mistake. Pins එකේ ground කියලා pin එකක් තියෙනවා VCC කියලා pin එකක් තියෙනවා මෙතන. Okay. I have attached it to the VCC pin. So I have to attach it to the ground pin. Oh, okay. මගේ වැරද්ද. I have pinned it wrong. See, I have now pinned this green color. And blue color again. Okay. If I use a smaller resistor now, ඒක ඇවිල්ලා තව පොඩි smaller resistor කෙනෙක්ව දැම්මොත් එයාගේ ඇවිල්ලා power එක පොඩ්ඩක් තව වැඩි වෙනවා. So there's a difference in the color, no? Okay. There is a small difference in the color because the resistance in the color is model. Okay. See, color එක මාරු වෙනවා because මේකයි මෙයයි resistor එකේ size එක වෙනස්. Okay. Done. Now open for questions. So how will they ask questions in the exam? They might ask you to draw a schematic diagram showing you the layout of the Arduino that you're going to do, number one. Number two, they might ask you to fill in the blanks for the code, number two. Or they might ask you by giving the entire setup and asking you questions from it. Mostly label කරන්නයි, code කරන්නයි. මේ පාර මං හිතන විදිහට fill in the blanks විදිහට. Now මේක පොඩ්ඩක් අපිට සෙල්ලම් කරන්න පුළුවන්. කොහොමද? You can make it as an blinking light. So how can you do it? There's a command called delay. You can use it and you can say, hey, delay it for 200 seconds and then making current again on it. After delaying it for 200 seconds, turn it low and again delay it for 200 seconds. That is meaning wait. Wait for 200 milliseconds. So that is equivalent to 0.2 seconds. So you have to wait for 200 milliseconds, 0.2 seconds. And then again, I'm sending a signal or else I'm issuing a command telling that digital write, hey, may pin making, you send an output for low. Now what will happen is you will see this bulb blink, you will see this output, the bulb is blinking. Yeah, the smaller the resistor is, okay, the brighter the LED will become. The bigger the resistor is, the smaller the LED will light up. Resistor is like a tap. Make a size. Now this is in terms of how did we do it to connect a bulb and work it like. Maybe podi commands. Any questions in there? So now I want to do the same thing in my computer. I don't have but I don't have anything, sir. Okay, I don't have these bulb and everything. So mama kohomada karanne. Okay, you might have that doubt also. For that, we have an option. Okay, we have a solution. So what we go through is we will go to a website called as Tinkercad. Okay. It is a website which allows you to do simulations of the same thing which I did. Okay. We'll do 2 to 3 projects and then afterwards, okay. So what I can do it is meanwhile I'm doing in practical, you guys can do it. So Tinkercad login there is a section you can sign up and do all these things and they can go to create circuits. Tinkercad works fine with laptops, not in your mobile phone. So here, this is what you have the entire board. So the same Arduino board, same breadboard. Okay. The same, I'll take the LED. See, we have the anode and the cathode. Nice. What I'll do it is I'm using the pin number 7. From the pin number 7, I will pin it here, which shows my red color wire. Side positive. And from there, I have a resistor. See, 1 ohm, 5 ohm. Resistor ke size se 3, 10, 6, 19, 0.1 ke very thin resistor එකක්. මෙයාව මම කෙලින්ම යවන්නම් ground එකට. Okay, මෙයාව කෙලින්ම යවොත් this entire line will get that 9 negative. So I'm going to keep it as a common ground. So I'm using here to keep it as a common ground, GND. GND in the sense ground. So this part, I'm going to keep it as a common ground. Okay. The fact is, mostly of the teachers doesn't do this. And then from here, now check this out, Hanza or Akif. You have see GND, GND, GND. So we have only 3 grounds are there. Mom first so move again. I can place it anywhere you wish to. What I'll do it is I'll send it. I'll use it in this. So what will happen is this entire line making a signal make. That's the white color line. White pin. I'll use black. Did you get the concept? Practically also, I'm doing stimulation also showing it to you guys. Stimulate karla pinnam. See, learn with Maestro, okay? Done. Any questions? Ita pa sa questions karamo. Abhi past paper questions dekha to na karamo eka prashna nahi. We'll do it in a while. Okay, ekadi sira pi pota mega karagi ni muko. All good to go. Nice. Nice, nice. So afterwards, okay, let's go for the coding. Come the code karan. You can click this code, and there is something called as text. Block and text killer, you can go for block text. Here we have the code. You can delete all the comments here. Okay, method can block pin mode. I have used pin mode 7 for output digital.pin mode 7. High, wait for 200 seconds. Pin number 7, low, wait for 200 seconds. If I run the simulation, you should see the bulb working. Exactly. Blue color. The bulb is working. See? Pin mode is telling what pin we are using. Pin mode is a command you can use here. Pin mode is a function. Pin mode is a function that specifies the pin to behave either as an input or output. Digital write is specifying the high or low. I have also shared more files in Arduino, Magudak files kara Arduino, okay? Short notes with it, which you can also do it. So now, why can't we do an ambulance light? Ekat karude. Shall we do an ambulance light? Ogalantat me file lega mang olante yavanna. Send picture of this. I can take the picture of this function. Okay. Okay. तब बटने का दाला करमो. After that one sensor का दाला करमो. Distance sensor will do. Couple of sensors if you guys are awake in there. They raw it's only see it. First I have to check whether this bulb is working. Okay, this bulb is also working. So first I have to find the anode and the cathode. Nice. We'll take another wire. We'll use a blue color wire. Okay. The full line digit okay. Stimulation this will be good. Laptop I'm going to use pin number 8. Sir, so I'm using the pin number 8 here. That is this. See this pin number 8 to bulb this one, the red color LED. Here I'm using this resistor to this. I don't need to use each and every time ground because it's common. Common in the bulb okay. Now the bulb won't work because I have not pre-coded it. I have to tell the code also, hey, I'm going to do this command. Command. So number one, I have to introduce a pin, telling that, hey, I'm going to use this pin. Pin number 8 use output. So 7 is an LED. Okay. LED in pin 7. That's an LED in pin 8. Did you understand the pin mode? To configure the pin to behave 8. Now, there are a lot of pins. All the pins will not work. We have to tell the computer we are using this pin. 7 and 8. So what I'll do it is digital high low. Let's make an ambulance. So ambulance red, sorry, blue red, blue red, blue red. Tane. Upper. Either high either low or either high 8 take a high window. So 7 is my blue color. So blue high, blue low, and what red high and red low and low. In other words, you can also assign these into variables also. That can be also done. Okay, you can also assign as variables. How can you assign a variable? You can say int, okay, red LED equals 7, int blue LED equal 8. Instead of telling 7, you can say red LED. Variables that's also working. Blue LED. Let's compile the code. प्रश्न एपा पिता प्रश्न एपा पुड्डकिन मोना प्रश्न अपना में प्रश्न दे आंदे एपा पिता प्रश्न hold on, what is the प्रश्न? int red LED. Okay, void the variables are outside. Sorry. Okay, variables should be defined outside before the setup. Okay, variables outside, setup picker, loop picker. Let's run the code. Parang. Oh, nah, put the in there. Red එක තමයි blue 7 and 8. Why this bug is not working? Did I pin it? 8, pin number 8 හරිනේ 7 and 8. 7 ලතා නීකේද blue 7 එකේ තමයි blue එක තියෙන්නේ 8 එකේ තමයි තියෙන්නේ red එක. So blue high, blue low, red high, red low. It's basically how to set a pin number. என்னடா இது බලමු මෙයා වැඩ කරනවද කියලා. Okay. Yeah, see. Okay, LED is working. Okay, see, you'll have this ding 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 ding. You can also make a night ride light if you wish to. Okay, ඒකත් දාන්න පුළුවන් ඕන දාගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, you can assign as a variable and edit it. Da-dang! Pause. Oh. Okay. Next, we are going to use. Okay. I did practicals for all these idiots. Physical class students, they got practicals from me, but still, this is a distance sensor. We'll come for this in a while. Okay, we are having this. What is this? It's a push button. Okay, make it be push button. So what I'm going to do the coding is, okay, may I press korot? May I add a Nitu nikam me nikam atal like a khan. If you press this only, see, if I press this only, it should work. So what I'm going to do it is, I'm going to place this one here. Okay. I'm going to place this. Good. Make a sketch diagram. We'll do it here. So now the bulb is working. What I'll do it is, I'll put a push button here. I'm going to put the push button and turn this push button to this side. Okay, nice. In this push button, I'm going to take pin number. Maybe I can take 8. It doesn't matter, whatever the pin number. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to get this pin number 8 from the push button, making a mea ground no third. Not a chayoni. May buttoning machray on what a pin gun on it. Okay. So basically, I have to use the pin number. Okay. Done. So here in this command, okay, only may command only one button is going to work. Okay. Only one button will work in this command, but eka ogalanta ඕන විදිහට හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, but in this scenario only one button is going to work in mine. අපේ මම මෙතන දෙකම කරන්නම්. Okay, so what I'll do it is I have the button is there. Okay, now this button, is it an input or an output? What do you think? Pin mode, I am assigning pin number 8. Is it input or output? This button, we should consider this button as an output or an input. Is it a sensor or actuator? What do you think this one should be? Is it a sensor or an actuator? Sirupala depend sensor sonna. Idiot. What really rifta? Okay, sensor. Button or sensor? It's an input. Okay. Sir, నల్లతనే సార్ படிச்சு கொடுத்துட்டு நடுவுலயே டென்ஷன் ஆகுறா டென்ஷன் ஆகாம செய்த வேலைகள் மிகவும் மறுப்புள்ளேன். Okay, is it a button or what? It's a button, no? So normally this is considered as an input. I give the input, this is my output. These are actuators. Okay, so this is my input. So what I'll do it is I'm going to say, hey, I'm using this pin number 8 as an input. Okay, as an input I'm using, but there is also pull up killer command. Input pull up killer. What do you mean by input is basically you can use it as an input, but I'm not using any resistors here. I don't know what is the resistor level. So I will tell the board, hey, based on the switch resistor value input pull up karanda. Or in other words, okay, again a resistor resist karla ganno. So pull up serial ke liye mega the type of mode which digital pin sets to high, input pull up, meaning by default it will be high. We'll consider this one as always high. Again pull up ke liye we'll consider this switch even though if it's been pressed or not, by default it's high ranking ganno. So let's go for this one in pull up. ඊට පස්සේ what I'm going to say it is I'm going to read this button state කියලා කියමු. I'm going to read it. Digital read. Digital read from what? Pin number 8. And I'm going to save it in the variable 8. So I'm reading the data from this, whether did I pin it or not. Okay. And I'm reading the data. Then I have an if statement. If I can say button state is equal to high. If it's high now, I can tell something to do. Else, I can tell again something to do. Usually the button high kila kiyanne, the current is always passing. Input pull up will always consider the button is passing the current because the current goes always through the button. If you press, you are blocking the current. Again, now the button is not pressed, which means pull up kila it's always high. The current is always passing. If you press, you are blocking the current. I can say if it's high, I will tell that, hey, may I have a low current. We can turn off the bulb. එහෙම නැත්නම් තම්බි okay එහෙම නැත්නම් work it බලමු. Nice try Makamishi errors එනවා mic ඇයි error hold on. What is the error? Why there is an error? Button state was not declared. You don't need to state the button state. How good, no? Assigned inside. Digital dot right. Assign karla thiyenne, but it's okay. Abhi damu ko assign karma 0 kela. Button state equal digital dot Friday. Okay, so RNA digital dot read bracket button 8 pin number 8 input block What is the error you are getting? Button state what not declared in the code function loop. There's this loop is that is also working fine. Digital dot read Harini. Okay, digital dot read button state. Okay, button state does not name a kind. Make a note. I don't know why. Let's see. Digital state is it equal to high? Then fine. Okay, sure. So what did I do was I took over that variable thing. Okay, I don't know what is in that variable. ඒක අපි කෙනෙක් තඩි කෝඩ් කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ මොනවද පිස්සුනක් මොනවද කියලා. ඒක වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ but මෙතන වැඩ කරන්නේ නැති සීන් එකක් වුණා. So if digital.write is equal to high මම off කරනවා. How did you see? Did you see here? So when I press the button මෙයා high නම් ඒ කියන්නේ හැම වෙලේම current එක යනවා. Low. Did you get the concept? බලන්න. Sensor is an input, output, idiot. See, sensor is an input. Button is an output. Okay, we can use it as an. See, button is an input. Okay. LED is an output. In that circle ring. Okay. So we come across it. Nice. So we have a code. Make code again eat pin mode. Now I have attached this into what? I have not attached this, so I have to attach him. Okay. I'll take one of the pin it to pin number 2, pin number 3. Okay, I have pin it to pin number 3. Pin number 3. And this bugger goes to the ground. This bugger goes to ground. Yes, it would. ඒක තමයි මම ස්ටිමියුලේෂන් කරේ ඔයගලන්ට පේන්න මේ කොහොමත් පේන්නේ නැති වෙයි. This so isn't it better to put it in Hansa? Very good suggestion, Hansa. Inshallah, if I meet the president, I'll definitely tell them. This is pin pin number 0, 1, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3. Pin number 3. Pin number 3 input pull up. Okay, right. What I'll say it is if a variable like බලමු button digital read pin number, what is the pin number 3? If button equal to high, if button is equal to high, I'll tell the command hey if off color and off the blue button and off the red button. Else I'll say hey work like an ambulance. Same error comes. Yeah. Protecting there. This was not declared in the scope. Button was not declared. So I'll define button hash define button. Now tell will you. Very good. Button is not defined. Int button. See? Okay, I have to define it. A variable define it. Okay, now the code is done. See, it's off. Allah way. Hold on. Uploading. Done uploading. It's not working. Okay, it's not working. So we have to do something. Okay. தம்பிக்கு என்ன போச்சுன்னே தெரியா பின் நம்பர் 4 ஃபண்ட் வரவங்கள பின்னுக்குலாம் பின் கடிச்சு சொல்லிட்டு பின் 4 நோ கொஞ்சம் இருங்க 0 1 2 3 4 5 पिन नंबर 5 अरे हो गया ना पिन नंबर 5 so if we can't log in through no you can't log in through two devices pa. If you log in again it will get deactivated eh? If it's high please split it. Hey, now this bulb is not working. Hold on. Low. Hurry. So now at least the bulb is working. Okay, we have to now figure it out what has happened. Put the kind. එතකොට මේ බට්න එක ගැහුවේ නැත්තම් buy low නම් else. Okay. I'll tell you how to do the sketch and everything. Yeah. So exam questions තාම හදන්නේ තාම practice කරගෙන යමු questions ටික. The මෙතන if the button is equal to high low nang you have this story button එක high nang how to turn it on okay. We are reading the sequence pin number 13 මේ button කතාව නැති කරලා අපි direct ම ගහමුකෝ මේ button කතාව 13 okay let me change this push button I'll change this button and come when you work with circuits and everything sometimes okay it won't work okay so this is we don't have these are sensors these are not logic gates okay get a push button Oh, button, button. Ah, we have button. Yeah, right. Okay, if it works for the මේකට වැඩ කරොත් මේකට වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. Okay. හරියට බලුවොත් වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. හරියට වැඩ කරන්නේ නැති එක දන්නේ නැහැ. We can see what is it. Okay. Hold on. If that works for the stimulation, when you do with practicals and everything, it's really unpredictable. एक तो तुम्हें सीन नहीं कर. Not that button. That button is also mayit. ഇതില്ല 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 ഇതില്ല. These are resistors. Never mind. These are RGB LEDs. We have all colors in there. को button का. Button ना मिटना. Button here. अभी मैं को यूज करूँ वो तिब्बे का मैं यूज करूँ तो why this bugger is not working. हाँ हरी button case. Oh, oh, wait, see. Okay, it's a button case. Yeah. Okay, oh no, but make a like put the 20 again then not. You will see like a minimal volume. Meaning, if you put ambulance sounds in there, it will be nice. Like background like ambulance sound at them, take a something. Ambulance sound. Yeah. Can you listen to the ambulance signs also? Yeah, we'll put an ambulance line once. And color check. So we can do this here. See? After a lot of excellent. Okay, so we know that the okay. So did you see? Basic concept. Working with all the for the delay is interesting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you work with these things, it becomes more simple. Okay, so we are good to go with this one. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, nice. ඊට පස්සේ we'll try to do a circuit with this. We call this bugger as the distance sensor. මේකට කියනවා අපි distance sensor එකක්. The sensor which allows you to capture the distance. Okay, by keeping your hand, it will give you the reading of a distance sensor. That is this. Okay, we have a distance sensor here. This is the distance sensor. Okay, then I have another type of a sensor. මේකට කියනවා අපි LM35, or else in other words, the temperature sensor. This sensor has known as the temperature sensor. මෙයාට කියනවා අපි temperature sensor එකක් කියලා. Okay, then I have this one. This is known as a PIR sensor, passive infrared motion detector sensor. This is what you will be finding inside. කොහෙද ගොඩක් දුරට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේව බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Inside this one කොහෙද? The automation doors වල ඔක්කොම door එකේ, and then you can reduce and increase the resistor here up and down කරගන්න පුළුවන් මෙතන. This is that motion detector sensor which allows you to capture the motion. We have 3 pins are there. One is power, output, and VCC. Motion detector sensor is available. Then there is another type of a sensor called as an LDR sensor. Okay. Back in the LDR sensor. Okay, this one is a sound sensor. Okay, this is a sound sensor. Microphone, which allows you to capture microphone. Okay, so microphone, we have a microphone sensor. A microphone sensor. Again, it has 4 pins are there, which is input and output. මේ pins එකේ එකක් ඇවිල්ලා it goes for analog බලන්න මෙතන තියෙනවා. Is it focus out? I think. Focus in. Okay. Let's. In focus. Go. Sir, කන් පොට්ටය වුන්ස වැළඟ දිල්ල සර්. සසවලඟ ටෙන්ෂන් ආවනම්. Okay, sorry, autofocus level for me. See, A0 කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ මේක A0. This is ground, this is plus, this is digital output. So if you take it in here, this pin can work as an analog microphone, digital microphone, ground, and positive. That is current. Okay, that is how microphones are. So that is microphone. There's another sensor which I wanted to show you badly. That is our LDR sensor. My LDR sensor එක මම උස්සන් ගිහිල්ලා මට දන්න විදිහට. ඒක වෙද්දින් උස්සන් යනවා. LDR sensor. These are resistors. Idum resistors. Idum andella resistors. Let's see, do I have an LDR sensor too? Right. Timing la maati pattala ikile. මෙයා මේක තමයි LDR sensor කියලා කියන්නේ. පේනවද? LDR sensor, this one da ikile. LDR sensor මේක තමයි. LDR sensor එකේ එකක් input and the other one is the output. LDR sensor. This allows you to use it as a touch sensor, which you can touch and emit light. Now, for an example, if I keep a torchlight, flashlight at the mouth, depending on the flashlight, okay, it will try to get it. For an example, if I keep a flashlight here, okay, I can turn off the flashlight, turn it on. So may LDR sensor flashlight on growth, he will tell how much of light is coming in. These are used in normally in greenhouse gases. Use see, this one is the LDR sensor. Okay, nicely. Okay, මේ sensor එක තියලා අපි පොඩි code එකක් කරන්න බලමු. Okay, මේ sensor එක තියලා we'll try to do the code in there. Okay. We are going to capture some light. What is it? We're going to capture light. So let's go to the code. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all these things. We'll remove the existing ones. So LDR sensor can be now. Okay, we have the LDR sensor right now. The Miyawatila, I'm going to use it and make it be photo resistor, light dependent resistor. Basically, it will capture. Okay, it will try to capture the what is it? Basically, it will capture the current capture. Okay, so what are we going to do it in here is simply we are going to go through with the coding of this LDR sensor capture karla. Let's create a circuit. Number one, what I'm going to do it in here is this LDR sensor inputs okay. Okay, the first one, if you come across this LDR sensor, number one is the 5 watts. You have to give current to this. current So I'll see it in Google. LDR sensor. Okay, it has 2 ins. One goes for the current. Okay, LDR sensor components. One, if you come across, these are wire terminals. Go. Right, this is 3 input now. Okay, this one. This is what we have the LDR sensor. Make a sensor module LDR. So you can use it either way. We module use you can use like godak okay, godak in terms of decreasing and increasing, setting the current in there. Make you come just capture it. Move make a capture it. LDR godak give Hari. So let's go through in terms in there, right? Good. So what I'll do it is I'll have this red color pin and I have this red color in this side. Okay. I'm going to give pin number 5 to this. So what I'm trying to do it is if I hover my hand like this, bulb okay. And then I'm going to take a resistor and ground it. Okay, most of the time it will try to work it. Make a better karna sure. Okay, right. Make LDR recommend LDR I have to give power. English pinji kaiki. Did you pull in page? Right. See pinji okay. Right. May LDR the 5 of them current. So there is this in this, there is a place where we can give current. This pin. current maybe current. So that's I'm going to get current 5 volts. So now the current will come to this LDR. Okay. Then what I'm going to do it is I'm going to reduce the current again by giving a resistor and ground. Okay, I'm putting a resistor and grounding it also. And then I'm going to capture it. I'm going to capture the data to analog pin capture because resistance current and brightness I'm going to capture as this way. So what I have done is in this LDR, okay, in this LDR, I have given the power using the yellow color cable. So yellow color cable linking, I have given the power. Negative color, I have given the ground. So ground I'm common gun now. So you all know what the ground story and everything now. So ground I'm taking into a common streamline and putting it to the ground. Yeah, going to the ground common. LED ground, this comes from pin number 5. Okay, yeah, pin number 5 or pin number 6 or pin number, so it doesn't matter any pin, it doesn't matter in there. And here also the same thing, I'm giving current to this, I'm giving power, I'll be giving power to this LDR. Allah, I don't do I'm giving current to this LDR and may negative ground karla, and also I'm reading the signal to analog input. Okay, work is done. So if I show you in terms of the circuit board connectivity if I want to show you the circuit board connectivity, I'll use here this one, the website. Here, if I wanted to show it as a circuit board connectivity now, what I'll do is I'll remove this bugger, remove kara. I hope this will be more visible for you. This is what I'm doing, eh? Okay, Mayamat Visikara, negative ground. Okay, so what I'll do it is I have this LDR, co-LDR vibration photosynthesis में आ गया this bugger. So take this bugger and pin it here. So this comes from not pin number 8, instead it comes 5 watts. It goes all the way to 5 watts. See, there is 5 watt kilakattino. One of the pain it's going for this 5 watts. So 5 watt again tamai, he is getting the current. From here, I'm sending a resistance. Okay. From here, I'm sending a resistor, which is like 1K is more than enough. I'm sending it to the negative side. Okay. So this is the red color wire. The current comes in here, negative, negative. This is the same thing I have done here. Okay. And the reading. Okay. I have to read it. Now make a current I have to now read it. I'll read the data. I'll read the data. IO. Okay, A pin 0 again. Here. Check whether you all have understood what I have done. This A0 pin, it's the input that goes to this LDR, and LDR ke negative vela. Now the 5 watt current ke LDR king I ground vela by reducing the by through a resistor. Meanwhile, the current is capturing the data always. I'm taking a pin from here and capturing as an analog input. Okay, now let's go towards our command. first I have to, okay, we have the pin modes. I have to say, hey, I'm going to capture the data. So capture, no, so capture data as bits. You have to capture the data. So there is a command called serial begin. There's a command called serial.begin. I'm going to capture 9600 bits. I have to capture the data. So serial begin ke liye let's capture it. Let's have a monitor to capture bits. Now I have to tell how many bits. I can say 14,000, 1400 danda puluang. Normally 1400, 5600 bits. 9600 is the average for all sensors. Capturing the bits, bit per second. How many bits you have to capture it. And then I have the output. Okay, I have the LDR, the LED7 output, and then LDR A0. That is A0, no? A0, that's going to be as input. A0 is my LDR, and this is my LED. So serial begin is to capture the data, start to capture data in 9600 bits, pin mode 7 output, pin mode A0, pin mode A0 is basically the LDR A0 input to now LED output. Okay, now let's capture the data. Okay, let's capture the data into an variable. So I'll say int LDR value equal, let's get it, analog read from A0. Hey, read this analog data into this LDR value. Okay. And then without doing anything, I'll just simply say serial.print. Println print this LDR value. I have the serial monitor here. See, it's captured in the data. See, I can increase and reduce it. It is captured in the data. So current make avilla light na then. If I increase the light, it is capturing me. Ado current ready bang. Ado me current 6. Okay. 6767900. So I'm capturing the data. You can also put it in terms of waves under pulon. Okay, I can show it in terms of waves also. Okay, make a do. You can a current light take make a light take a ready. So he's capturing the data. So the minimum is 6. Okay, the threshold is around 500. Okay, maximum is 600. Now, practical sure. Okay, practical cable Hurry. Now I have basically now I know that I'm reading the values in there. I'll say if the LDR value is less than LDR value is greater than 500 greater than 40. I'll say greater than 500 maybe. No, 500, 40 kilogram. Basically, if LDR value is greater than 440, what I'll say it is, let's light up that LED bulb. Right. Else, guys, what is the time? Else, digital dot write. Okay, low. Atal Vedi because current errors Atal Vedi. So right, okay, done. What about Enapa error right. Okay, check this out. Now at the beginning, the value of the LED or the value serial monitor reading value is 600. See, when I increase the value, it is also increasing the bulb. If I don't touch it, the bulb is off. If I touch it, the bulb is on. Did you see the concept? මේක තමයි කරලා තියෙන්නේ LDR එකකින්. LDR is basically light dependent sensor. Right. The maker fun part is in here. And the maker කරමුකෝ. Okay, so we have the bulb is there. Now I have only one bulb. So I have pin it for 7. Yeah. So I have pin it for 7 shape. Pin number A0. A0 input. I'll say beginning the serial begin. Serial dot begin. I'll say 9600. So that's where I'm collecting bits. I can have serial monitors. Plotter serial monitors. All these are different values of Allah, it's not visible. No? Okay. Maybe 9006 baud skill, it's where you have it in bits. Okay. You basically capture in terms of bits. It's a unit of symbol that's used to capture the bits in there. Normally, baud skill, I think it's 9600 in the sense bits per second, 9600 bits per second. So that's the measurement in there. So AK, I think full form is full form of baud decavilla. No idea, can't remember in that. Okay. Yeah. Full form of baud decavilla. That's the measurement symbol. Okay. Full form then I put the carter to find a full one. Let me know. Matakane. There is no full form. It's the way you have to measure the number of bits. Put the check there. Right. So we have this one serial begin done. If I'll say analog read from this pin A0 is great. Will first of all మేము పండిత విన్నతో అప్పి మేము ఒక్కము delete කරලා பொறுமையா போகும் இல்லாட்டி வந்து எல்லாம் கடைசிக்கு சக்க blast වෙනවා. I'll say int LDR value equal analog read A0. So basically I'm reading it serial.println LDR value. So let's print it where a capture first of all. So we have the plotter here. We can capture them. Allah, you see the see, can you see my screen also? No, see we have this one. It's not telling. Oh, it's like a torch on the torch on the Okay, I have a torch, right? See, it's capturing the data. Duck. Okay. Close current. Then current come and light again. So now, however, the light is there, no. So make a close current. Make off karo to add balaganda pulo. I have to turn out everything, all the lights and everything off karala. Me light but shape. So we are getting the value. That serial monitor. But if I want, I can also get the values in there. It's completely zero, Output. Okay. Allah. Oh, if I did pen. Oh. Then the move actually. Then the mention. Huh. See, okay, why I'm putting this out, I don't have an idea. But see, see, this bugger will go up. Now, if I take a light, hold on. I have to turn off everything. Lights. Okay, so basically there is no light. So you will not see anything in there normally. Light so come off karama normally. But if I increase in the, check this out. Did you get it? This is what LDR sensor is all about. It will capture the data. Riyas is going into next extreme. Riyas in this, okay, in the mode, Avenger mode, okay, fire mode again, see? Got the concept? Hurry. At the quarter, when there is no light, I'll say to start this one. Okay, again LED එක වැඩ කරන්න කියලා දාමු අපි. Light එකක් තිබ්බොත් ඕනේ නෑනේ. So I'll say if LDR value equal to 0. ඒ කියන්නේ light එකක් නැත්තම් අනි please කියලා මේ digital light එක වැඩ කරන්න දාන්නකො මේ light එක පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩ කරන්න දාන්නකො මල්ලි. Okay. I'll say less than 10. Digital dot write pin number what? 7, no? 7 high. Else මල්ලි පොඩ්ඩක් side වෙලා ඉන්නකෝ කියලා I can say high low. හරි බලමුකෝ. Light 10ට இது மனம் போம். Hold on. 10 இல்ல 10 இல்லைன்னா பிரச்சனை பாய் எதிரி மாமா. Okay, අපි serial monitor එක අරගෙන I have to check with the serial monitor. Now is it capturing the data කියලා first of all பார்க்கணும். Okay, data capture ஆகுது அது பிரச்சனை இல்லை. Data capture ஆகுது. හරි. Okay, so light එක එනකොට okay, so මෙතන 7 එකටනේ දීලා තියෙන්නේ මම. I have given 7. Okay තමයි. Okay. So blue light is 7 output. Digital dot write 7 high, digital dot write 7 low. If the LDR value, then මෙහෙම කියන්නේ light එකක් නැහැ කියලා කියන්නේ 0. If the LDR value is less than 10 now, the LDR value is less than 10, I'll say please කරලා මේ value එක දාන්න. But මේක ඉන්නේ නෑ මේ හාගය. Fine. Okay, පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න එකයි එන්නත්තේ. පාකගෙන பிரச்சனை நீ பிரச்சனை பெரிய பிரச்சனை. Okay. ඇයි digital 7 එන්නත්තේ? හරිද මම ගහලා තියෙන්නේ මෙයාව. නිකන් ගහන්න digital.7. Now it should work. Okay, there is this code is not working because I have entered this code outside. මේක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. That means something is error in here. Digital.write 7 high. There is a problem in this. Mm-hmm. 7. சரி சரி நான் இங்கே போடுவேன். හරි bulb එකේ case එකක්. Case in the bulb of the case. හරි. cherry. Bulb එකේ case එකක්. හරි. Okay. Now see if I turn on the light. Yeah, okay, it's working. If I give the light, the bulb is not working. It won't work. Did you get the concept? Oh. Okay, nice. It's working now. See, it is working. I think then what karna? But if I give light, I gotta run. LDR sensor. Now, depending on the closeness, I can change the color also. Then red color එකක් වගේ දැම්මොත් kit red color වන්න පාතා blue color is danger zone කියලා දාලා ඇයිද මෙහා දේ වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්තේ මේ? Okay, nice. So, I can change the color also. Then red color එකක් වගේ දැම්මොත් kit red color වන්න පාතා blue color is danger zone කියලා දාලා ඇයිද මෙහා දේ වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්තේ මේ? how do I කරනවා? It's working, no? It's working. No, this is not working. Yeah, workout විදන්ස මාර්කටිං seconds නාවානම්. This is also not working. என்னடா இது? Okay. Okay, now depending on the values, I can change the red and green. Now this is also not working. This not login on bulb. ඔක්කොම වැඩ කරන්නේ කැඩිලා ගන්නේ. Okay. Okay. Now only I saw why it's not working, because if the bulb is not right, okay. So red is there, it's working. So we'll use this one, red. So I'll say when I'll put when someone is coming, if we'll do the code like this. If I if the resistance is high, if I close this, if someone touch this, it should press red, nothing, it should press. If I touch this, it should press. If someone touch this, it should press red, nothing, blue. This is the last one. Guys, is it you guys are there or sleeping on the mom vitra karegi not done mitne. I did this practical. Am I you guys are also there with me? Ramata was in Inno, sir. Karanda. By when the papi no, it was saying, Karanda, no worries. You do, sir. You do, sir. Okay. Okay. I did this one with the physical. Gong set take a. They don't know the value of this. Gong harak physical class players. They got everything in their hand. Okay. Eduzone, Velapa. Eduzone. Okay. The got okay. So I have now the LED ka tara gahuwa. Pin number 8 taka gahagatta LED ka. Okay. What I have to do it is if I touch this, that means if it's too dark now, you have to high. If it's too dark now, you have to high blue. Blue color is pin number 7. Okay, if it's too dark now, blue color, pin number 7 high. Okay. එහෙම නැත්තම් pin number 8. So what I have done it is 0 කියලා කියන්නේ okay 0 කියලා කියන්නේ basically there is no light. Yeah. ඒ කියන්නේ light එකක් නැත්තම් තමයි 0 වෙන්නේ normally. See? If there is no light, that's basically 0. Okay? So the 0 කියලා කියන්නේ blue. If there is light, it should be red. So 0 කියලා කියන්නේ high. And I have to turn off the red color bulb. That's important. Else 7 එක high කරලා low කරන්න. Now okay. 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 Hold on. So what I take we'll take it like this. Now the meter reading is going on. Okay. We'll say if the LDR value is less than what I can capture කරගමු. Height එකක් එනවා කියලා කියන්නේ 10. Okay. If the LDR value is less than 10 now, high red. එහෙම නැත්තම් high blue. එච්චරයි. අයියෝ. Okay. Metana blue again, high red and high. Okay, now done. If there is no light, this is 9008, it's capturing data. Me. Now, why do you see this light? Okay, make an hour. That's where when it's dark, if the LDR is not capturing any value, see, if LDR is capturing zero light in there, it's basically dark. But if I put a light, make a off करना red day off करना then put के लिए का तो off करूँगा मैं 7 ने off कराऊँगा low मैं 8 high 7 low 7 high 8 low. Okay, now check this out. It's when it's dark, it is red. Ha. Did you see? Body light do not thari. Done. Okay. Can we have a thumbs up if you have understood? But then good. Okay. How? Okay. I think practical of LDR, everything. This thanks to this mobile phone concept which I kept it. Okay, it was useful. Ne? Sorry. So coming back to our coming back. Hi guys. Hi people. Okay, now it's cool. Let's go and do some past paper questions. Okay. Light off பண்ணி வச்சுக்கிறேன். மண்ணாடியத்தின் okay, okay, on curve kalenda. Okay. Nice. Hello, people. Hi, hi, hi. So after an 2.5 hour session, 2 hours and 40 minutes, we are back again. Okay, with past paper discussions in there. Which is same on past papers. Okay, under the Arduino concept. So Arduino, okay, I also have the past paper discussions. Let's have a past paper discussion, a complete Arduino. Okay, now I hope you guys can do it. Okay, so past paper discussion. We are moving on towards the A-level past paper questions. We are moving across the A-level 2023 past paper question. Okay, A-level 2023 ke IOT questions okay. Let's go into page number 10. Page number 10, IOT. What is the principal role of a sensor? This sensor used to capture data. It provides output and change state? No. Interoperability? No. Detect the change in the environment. Sensors can be used to capture data, right? So that's under the past paper discussion in it. I don't know, pretty sure no one will do practicals like this, sir. Okay, if someone says, Arduino velangalasana, tindu and thale idu porom. Idu porom practicals si velangalasana. Okay, you guys have to do it now. Okay, mami worksheets okko dalatino mankiyanna. Worksheets hinna toge dalatino ogolanta. Let's go for the next one. Pavanga sir, save. Okay, so let's take this one. Okay, we have a circuit in there. I know you guys can do it. What is this? USB port. They're asking you to identify the mark A, B, C, D. Figure 7.1. Briefly explain each other's functionality. USB port. This is the microcontroller. Controller. These are what pins? Analog pins. And what are these? Digital pins. Sounds easy. USB port, digital pins, analog pins, and microcontroller. You all know the functionality in there. Assume that you want to build an IoT setup. To switch on the LED light when motion is detected. So when someone comes in, motion detection, that is this. Okay, we have that. That is also can be done, motion detector. Further, it is required to switch on the LED during night time. So LDR. So this is use of an LDR sensor. This is use of a motion detector sensor. Draw a schematic diagram. What is a schematic diagram? A diagram, a sketch diagram that we had to do it. So we have the Arduino board here. Okay, we have the Arduino board here. We have the PIR sensor. This PIR sensor will have 3 inputs. 3 pins are there. They have already given. The first pin is VCC, OP output, and then we have GND. So GND, OP, and here let's assume these are GND pins. A0, A1, A2, A3. We have 5 watts, 3.5 watts. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are these? These are digital pins. These are analog pins. Okay, right. First one is ground. So I have to send him to the ground. Hurry. Output is detected using an analog pin. So you can pin it to any analog pin. VCC is basically the current. Now, for this one also I gave it no for the LDR sensor. So that is the current. I can give 5 watts. So this way you can have the what? The PIR sensor. Okay, passive infrared motion detector sensor. Then they say you to put an LED. So you can also have an LED in there. So you have to switch on the LED. So we have to put an LED. So LED, you can draw it in 2 ways. You can draw the LED in this way also, or you can draw the LED in this way. So මෙහෙම draw කරන්නත් පුළුවන් LED එකක්, or else you can draw the LED. This is positive, this is negative. Anode and cathode, exactly. The longer pole is the positive one, which I'll connect to this one in there, and the short one I'll connect to the ground. This is negative and this is positive. Okay. They also say there is an further you have to switch on the LED using nighttime when you have an LDR sensor. So let's have an LDR sensor. You can have an LDR sensor in this way. You can show an LDR sensor in this way, or you can have a diagram like this. Okay, LDR sensor. This is also there. Okay, so LDR sensor, you have a diagram. Okay, hold on. This is also there. This diagram or this diagram. Either way, you can do it. So, may diagram making what we do. Number 1, I get it into ground. So, ground connected. Ekak gia what 5 ekata. Anit ekkena gia pin number 2 ekata. So, this goes for analog read. Pin number 2. This is for 5 watts. This is for ground. This is for ground. This is for analog digital pin. Now only you understand this diagram. නැත්තම් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට තේරෙනවද? පොඩ්ඩක් හරි දැන් ඔළුවට ඔයගොල්ලන් තේරෙනවද මොනවද කරන්න කියලා මම. So මේ ගැහුවා මේව කරා මම. Now think about if I don't do a practical at least in this way or in stimulation සුත්තම වැලඟි කාලා මොලකු. මේ stimulation okay sir. ඉතින් තඩමාරකවල route light off பண்ணி කරනකොට තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒක තේරුනේ. Sorry, this is so we have the motion detector which I connected in that way. Okay, and then we have the LDR sensor, okay, which connects to the ground. You can give any pin, doesn't matter. Did you all understand this diagram? So LDR has 2 pins. LDR normally has 2 things here. One is the current in, current out, and a current out I am capturing the data. One is current in and current out. Other one is capturing the data. Resistors දාගන්නත් පුළුවන්. So resistor දැම්මේ නැහැ sir කියලා කිව්වොත් you can also put a resistor. Okay. Resistors දානවා නම් this way you can put some resistors. එක current in එකෙන් ගන්නත් පුළුවන් out එකෙන් ගන්නත් පුළුවන්, doesn't matter. You can also have resistors also if you wish to. VCC this pin. So you can have resistors for all inputs. You can show a resistor in this way. These are resistors. Wherever current comes in, resistor එකක් දාගන්න. Done. So LDR normally has two pins in there. So LDR එකේ pin එක ඇවිල්ලා one is for +5 voltage, one is for ground. අපි මේකින් එකක් ගන්නවා. Either the ground or this one as an analog read. Analog pin එකට ගහනවා. A0 hari A1 hari මොනා hari pin එකට ගහ ගන්නවා. So you can read the data. Okay, normally අපි input එකට ගැහුවොත් එකයි output එකට ගැහුවොත් කොහේ ගැහුවොත් it doesn't matter. Okay, මම මෙතන ගැහුවේ ඇවිල්ලා නෙගටිව් එකට. So උනට ඕන ඒක නෙගටිව් එකට ගහ ගන්නත් doesn't matter. Okay, මම ගැහුවේ මේක read කරන්නේ මෙයාගේ analog read. Negative side එකෙන් ගත්තා. Sounds good. Understood. If you all have understood, can I have a thumbs up? Sir, Pakka understood. Clear and crystal clear. Okay. Nice. Happy, yeah? If you guys have understood, I'm really happy. ඊට පස්සේ questions ආය ඇවිල්ලා තිබ්බ මේක. This is the question they have asked under kind of a motion detector sensor එකක් දාලා තමයි pseudo code එක fill කරන්න ඕනේ. I think this time they will definitely ask you fill in the blanks. Pin mode code එකයි, serial begin එකයි, analog read, analog route. අන්න ඒ වගේ පොඩි codes මම අද කියලා දුන්නේ. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට දාගත්තත් හරි. So what is it Kilagato? This is a question from an agent technology, which we have already done. Okay, agent technology recordings are also there. Make sure you go and check it out. Next theory class, I will do the ICT business past papers, and that's going to be the last theory class for you guys. We'll be finishing the last theory class. Okay, but next month, I'll do papers for you all. Okay, put papers. I'll do on and off more papers for you guys. Okay, so the moisture level of the sensor that being in the 1 is the driest and 10 mean the wettest. The algorithm on the right can be used to automate the task of opening the tap when soil is dry and to stop the tap when the water flow is done. So you have it in there. So moisture level is being captured while you read the moisture level. If the tap is closed, then you open the tap. For what reason you open the tap? If the moisture level, if the ml level, moisture level, they have said, what is it? You open the tap when it's dry. That means if the moisture level is less than 8. If the moisture level is less than 8, you open the tap. If the moisture level is not, if the moisture level is greater than 8 nang, that means it's wet nang. If the tap is not closed, close the tap. Okay. So here we have to check here. If the tap is closed, then you open the tap because it's dry. If it's dry, you open the tap. Else, you close the tap. What could be monitored in a greenhouse using an LDR? Capture sunlight. Capture sunlight. Okay. Those are the two major questions in Arduino wala tibba questions tikak. When you guys are doing our term paper, I will be also discussing a couple of more Arduino questions. Shall we see the eMora paper? I had the eMora paper. Anyone who has the eMora paper, පොඩ්ඩක් යවන්න පුළුවන්ද? eMora paper එකේ තිබ්බා. ඒකත් කරලා දාමුකෝ. Let's see that also, whether is it difficult or easy ද කියලා ඒකත් අපි සුඩ්ඩ කරලා දාමු එකක් question එකක්. eMora paper, anyone who has the part 2 paper ටක් ගාලා මට යවන්න පුළුවන්ද පොඩ්ඩක්? පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's see how to do that question also. Appear time paper, it's easy. Hurry. Let's see the question. Hurry, me तीनों question निकल. Okay. So why LDR sensor is used? To capture light. Sensitivity. Okay. What is this circuit is used for? Obviously, this is what I did right now. Okay. Consider the code in like data. So let's see. Okay, you guys are supposed to give me the answer. Answer. What is it? This is an LDR. You have pin for LED pin number 13. LDR is A0. We use output for what pin? Okay, LED. Okay, you can say pin number 13 or you can say LED. So you have two answers. You can say 13 or LED pin because they have already mentioned it as a variable. The output. Input will be A0 එහෙම LDR pin. තේරුණාද? හරිද? You capture the LDR pin analog read. You read it from where? You read it from where? A0 LDR pin. This one, what is it? If it's less than 200, what is less than 200? What is less than 200? What is less than 200? You capture the data, save it in LDR status. LDA0 is the pin noma. Idala capture pandra data in the status la save pandrom LDR. And the capture panda LDR status, if it's less than 200, guna serial begin mehetino. Okay. If that capture karapu data eka, okay, LDR status eka less than 200 nang, that means if it's dark nang, you high what? High what? LED. 13, if it's either 13 or you can say LED pin. Else you high low what? 13 or LED pin. That serial begin is the capturing rate. Kochara capture karno other. Like the number of minutes, like a number of words I talk in a given minute. I can increase it or decrease it. This fast forward when you are playing a movie or something, this fast forward. This is equal to serial begin. It's like capturing the number of bits. It's right. What is the purpose of the code? The purpose of the code is to capture light and turn on the LED when it's dark. Okay, the capture light. Capture light. Okay, using LDR and turn on LED if it's dark. Ta-da! Understood. Shape. Elakiri. See? So, tarmara. Question is Ivolo customer. Okay, so that comes to the end of our classroom. That's it for today then. See you. Okay, I will also share this recording in our LMS. But any of your friends are there who are weak in Arduino now, make a copy package. So anyone who can also purchase Arduino and useful, it will be highly useful. Those who ordered the circuits, I think Zainab and two people have ordered. You all need the circuits, Ama. I didn't send you the circuit still, but do you all need me to send it? Those will have pre-ordered. Okay. Then I'll package pack karla lasanata. that will be also go through in it. I hope you have got an efficient session. No one will teach you Arduino like this. May Allah bless you. Pasikide, go home. Allah Rakawal. Take care. Bye bye. Good night to all of you.